Welcome back, everybody. I need to preface this and say that I have been terribly ill for the past week, so I've accomplished pretty much nothing. I did some like mundane, mindless, grindy stuff while I was homesick because I spent a lot of time just sleeping. But I hope the intro was nice and nice thing to see. I've been working a little bit on making the rail cart ride look a little bit more interesting as you kind of come down the rails. I'm making some adjustments. I've added some torches in places, mostly just because there is spawns happening. So as those happen, that'll probably all up there. I'll probably just put in, like I'll put in some glow lichen or something, and then a bunch of buttons. And through here, probably just gonna need to add in um, some additional lighting, like just an additional like floor light maybe goes here or something underneath another carpet. Oh, don't want to fall down there. I've never checked to make sure that this is... I've got stone brick in there. I need to like get in there and fix that and then do something about that. I might just change that out for like glow lichen or something so it's darker in there. Maybe a glow lichen here. Yeah, I'll get to that. But for the most part, haven't done a whole lot. I need to get through here and clean this up, and I'm still having random spawns in here. I'm randomly getting things spawning on my roof, which I also need to sort out eventually here too. I need to do a bit more texturing on the floor in here. Down this hallway, I started doing a little bit of like some artwork up on the walls, and then just some candles just as ambient light, and some I've brought a bunch of flowers and things to just put in to different planters that I've got here, just as a change of pace for just things down here, mostly just to have something really. I need to get a lightning rod for there, and here we're just gonna have a maybe something like, I never really do this with pale oak, so something like that. That might feel a bit too bushy, but we'll play with that. I also threw some paintings in along here, just as something on these walls because they're so tall, and I figured, well, let's put the big paintings like closer to the top and just to see how things are, and tried to keep it just different paintings down these hallways. I might put something here, I might put another table. A lot of these hallways are going to get the same kind of treatments. Obviously these ones are getting a bit more because these are much taller. These hallways are much shorter, so they're just going to get like a table here and there. I'm so sick I can't remember what I had done for last episode, but all this is dug out. This has been mostly framed in. I need to get a bit more dark oak and do the bottom framing, then strip all of the wood, and then do the stairs, the shelves, trapdoors, stairs, and round everything. But this on both sides has been completely done, and then it's ceiling as well, so it gets us to this side of the library now. I've done exactly 0 amount of digging to get down through here. This I can probably just mostly block off with just a door and put like coming soon under it. I changed this up, just kind of decided I'd put in some to tie in with these white chairs. I figured in these sections, let's just, because I needed some lighting over here, so I just figured some white wall floors would be sufficient, just as something else, kind of, sort of. And it ties in with those. I did get to work on some mild redstone related work. The fastest way is going to be to go this way. So big thing I need to do with redstone is all the redstone. All the redstone needs to go somewhere. So I have been working, and in here, this little thing here will be to get the redstone for up here. I need to make this wider yet, and find where the big entrance into the library is, but this is underneath that office space room, because this will be like when it gets built, this will be the room where you will have the chance of getting the key to get into the getting the key to get into the laboratory. I gotta look into how to change the odds of the key happening in relation to what I might just put like harder to find things down there. I've also been working on some redstone with this. As you saw, I came down with the rail cart, and it is now, there's a detector rail. So there's an activator rail, so when you hit this, you get kicked out, and you're on the other side of that. I'm just using trapdoors and shelves as this as a blockade, so it kind of shows that yes, this is a, like, I need to be able to get through, because this is the way I get to I come back through here, and then I have a tunnel over there, so I can get up and down without having to fly all the time. Why is there a carpet there? I think I just put a carpet there just to kind of round it, maybe. But I've got an ample amount of lighting down here. This I need to dig out some more. Although you don't, unless you look that way. So I suppose if I put something kind of against this wall to maybe catch your eye to look that way. But come down. It moves pretty fast because I want it to kind of feel and make it look like you're coming to an end. And then this is going to be the activation. This is the. So when this rolls down, after the cart rolls, you get kicked out of the cart and it rolls past you. It'll activate, turns on the light, and then I need to figure out how to set it up so that it starts a thing. So if it basically starts a signal that goes, and that says, as long as that signal continues going, it should be fine. And then the carts are just going to get deposited into fire or lava, something. They're just going to get destroyed, because otherwise I got to come down here and pick them up, because they don't stack. So I can't pick them up into anything. They don't stack, so they're just going to come down and be destroyed. But I'm going to use them as the activator to turn on the other redstone. And I think I just need to look into how it's done. I might have it set so it goes to because it's going to go to a hopper clock, which will then allow the game to run, which is then going to be the same thing for all the other stuff for dispensing. So I just have to figure out how I'm doing all that, like for timings and whatnot, like how often I want other things to time. That one will be the main clock. Then it'll get powered, turned on, and then it'll run for 10 minutes, and then it'll shut off. And then once it shuts off, I think that's how that works. I don't know. I'm not a redstone genius. I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm kind of thinking of how I want things to work. But and I'm also half sick, so I'm on medicated brain trying to think of all this. But I got all this dug out. All this is dug out. And then this way's dug out. I started to dig out this way, but now I have blocked that off because that will be a future project possibly. I want to get it to a playable state mostly. I want to start working on redstone. So I'm mostly because I've never really done anything with redstone. So I want to practice. I want to learn. I want to play. And I still have another big build to do. And we're gonna go dig a hole straight down. So let's go do that. It's at this time you're probably noticing that the time is not changing when I'm wandering around. I don't know what happened, and I don't know when it happened. but there's been a slight issue with the clock, so it's just permanently stuck at 1841. So like so many times I'll come into above ground and be like, is it nighttime? Is it daytime? I try to sleep in a bed. I'm like, I won't let me sleep in a bed. So so we're gonna be having a wonderful build is gonna start here, and right here, because I marked it. We gotta go down like 30 some blocks, so we may as well, man, no time like the present. Let's get started. I mean, I can't not take some free copper that I could put into a, oh no, oh no, I can't not take some free water for some free copper block. You're stealing my copper. What is this? What is this? What did I do? Okay, well, you just need to do that, and then that, and then that. Oh, and then that, and then... Oh, I don't have another block? How do I not have another block? Now I got a block. Anyway. So I have an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, which is kind of a slight issue at the moment. But you see, I have this idea that you will sit in a chair in a tavern above ground, and then you'll drink a potion of blindness or a stew or something, which will activate a calibrated skulk sensor. Actually, you know what? Let's just keep randomizing what side these are on, and that one's going to go there. And then when you drink that, it'll activate and open, and then you'll fall down, and then you'll just come down here. I don't know if a rail cart will fall down a 1x1 hole without speed. So that's a thing, which I guess we could find out. But then you'll fall down there, and you'll land on this cart, on this track, and then you'll come down, and then you'll come down this way. This is going to get turned into like a little thing here with like, this is why I wanted the copper, because then I can, like, you know, it can be like a little copper mine is here or something. Like so.
Run it up.
And then let's get back up there. And I see, I don't know who did that, but someone did. Uh-oh. I start getting turned around. It's gonna be nighttime soon. Now, if I put, because my thought process was, cart sits here on a, like, there's a sticky piston holding a block here. Then you drink, the calibrated skulk sensor opens a piston and it slides away, and then you fall down. I think I need to get, I don't know. Everything's that way, so I believe you have to go that way. So if we, oh, I gotta place it. It has to be placed on a, okay. No, it needs like a little bit of momentum. Okay, well that's probably not gonna work. Because on my thought process, I also need to sleep. So let's go to sleep. Okay, so apparently I don't think that idea is gonna work unless I can have a. Can you guys just go away? If I have it on like, oh, there's those blocks. Let's take these blocks. That's not gonna work. If I do that, I guess I could have it like this, so it's above. Let's try this. Can you fall down a one wide hole? The answer is no. It does not work. Okay. So I'll need to make this a bit of a bigger hole. So, plan is, I want you to sit in a chair, you drink, and in the chair, where quotations is the minecart, and then I want to somehow have the floor open up, which I can probably still do with the multiple, because I'm sure if I did it too wide in front, what blocks have I got on me? Okay, I got one deep slate, I have some andesite, and I have some stone. Okay, so if I had it, so it's a, we'll use it to andesite as the hole. If I somehow had it so that you're on the chair, I'm just trying to think, if you're on the chair and the chair is like up a level, and then okay, these are sticky pistons that are extended, so when the thing goes off, it pulls these back. The 2 hole is wide enough for you to fall down, because you're not going to have great speed. You're going to drop basically 1 block and then just drop down a big hole, which I can make the hole bigger going down. That's not a problem. That pulls this way, activated by a calibrated skulk sensor. Redstone. Would it be redstone? They would need to be powered, so they need to be temporarily unpowered to contract them. You fall down, they open back up. Yeah. So they need to be powered, and then they become temporarily unpowered, so they open, you fall. You fall down, and then you're on the ride, the minecart ride to go in there. So it's just a case of figuring out how to do it precisely, because I figured using an auto crafter to make minecarts, so I don't actually have to have stacks on stacks of shulkers, or like having a bunch of double chests full of, you can't see me you talking with my hands, so you're just gonna look at my face while I do this. If I use auto crafters to make the minecarts, I don't have to have stacks on, like I don't have to have chests on chests of iron of minecarts waiting. They can just be made on demand, so they would get made. The calibrated skulk sensor would send a signal to make another one that then gets put to replace the chair, but I need to make sure it doesn't go all the way down as well. So it would probably be something with a gate and rails. I could do that, so there's a gate, rails going down, the gate opens, gate gets powered, it opens, the sticky pistons pull the floor away, you fall through the floor, and away you go. And because I want it to be potion of blindness, or it'll be like the stew that gives you blindness, whichever one it is, because it's not very long. It's just long enough for you to get past that, and then you fall down in the hole. And yeah, it'll be a tavern that's going to go on this spot. The portal's probably going to move. That's why all the trees are moved and this terrain has been moved up. The tavern's going to go here, and the tavern's going to have a few different things. It'll be like, here, place your, like, here's for placing your stasis chamber. Of course it's raining. Why wouldn't it rain? Like, I'm gonna just fall in a hole here. That hurt a little bit, but now it's not raining on me. Yeah, it's just gonna be long enough so that you can fall down. Like, it'll give you blindness long enough so that you can fall down the hole and not have, and like, you know, you'll end up down here. This will be a little bit decorated, a little bit, not as much as that big area, but that was already an existing cave. This is just a room. Like, it'll be a short section, tighter section. So I'll probably just have it be like, looks like kind of more the final section before you get to the main area. It'll be like I might do it all deep slate so it feels like you've been falling longer. I'll change all this to stone. So that'll be a project, and then have like dripstone and stuff in here, and some lanterns instead of the frog lights and everything. And then you ride the rest of the ride down and through here so that it feels more more something. I don't know what I'm putting on that yet. I gotta come up with some idea. There'll be more decoration in here. There's more buttons to be placed out there, buttons to be placed out here. Doing lots of that kind of stuff. And yeah, the tavern will be more of that'll be where the game kicks off. It'll have a place to set the spawn. It'll have a place where you set your stasis chamber. It'll have like steps, be like, hey, set your spawn, and you'll be like, set your spawn in your room, and then come and set the stasis chamber. And then I'll probably also figure out how long this ride takes to get you down to the front of the building, and there'll be a different redstone clock that will account for that amount of time, the falling and the getting into here, that will also be activated from the calibrated skulk sensor of you drinking, eating the soup, stew, potion, blindness, whatever, so that that kicks off that for the stasis chamber, and then everything down here will be activated when you get down here and will be on a separate timer. So it'll be a similar amount of time. I'm going to say maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That maybe it'll be 15 minutes, and like everything in here will be on like a 10 minutes. So when you activate the rail, when you come get down here, it'll be activated, ready to go. I really wanted to make sure that the players got kicked out of the minecart, because I didn't want to have to make it so the player had to get out of the minecart themselves. And then there's just minecarts at the bottom that then kind of get clogged up if someone doesn't go in all the time. And that's the other reason why they're just going to get destroyed in lava, is just they need to just go away somewhere. So or they could just hit a cactus, and then they can just sit there and despawn, and they'll be gone in 10 minutes. Whoa, that was chunky. But I think that's going to be it for me for this week. These 2 weeks, I plan to start working on the tavern design, and we're figuring out the tavern's design is going to happen around the redstone for everything else. So the stasis chamber probably won't be too far from the big chair that you sit in, and the tavern will probably have like a bartender, and there'll be other tables and a fireplace, and I'll make it look like a nice, good-looking tavern, inside and outside. Even though I'm not a big fan of making exteriors, I like doing interiors, but it'll look good. And I'm going to start decorating more in the game, and I'm going to start figuring out where I want different things to kind of pop up, and figuring out a couple more secrets. There's a couple of secrets, but I haven't shown any on screen at all for obvious reasons. And I want to maybe work on get a couple more secrets in, and make sure I figure out where I'm putting all the redstone and whatnot, bits and bobs. So I still have a lot more digging to do. There's a kitchen to dig out, and then all of the different bedrooms that are going to go along those big hallways. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep fit, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.